What is up, everybody? And I have a little bit of a problem hyping up new manga. I know, hype is the mind killer, but it is so hard not to get excited about new things. And let's be real here, sometimes I am right, like I was for Dandadan. I made a video about the first chapter of that manga on my main channel. And I mean, to be honest, it's only getting better and better. But sometimes I am wrong, like I was for Nine Dragons Ball Parade. For those who don't know, that was a pretty unique baseball manga that came out this year. The main character was a catcher, so it focused more on the psychological aspects of it, but it didn't go anywhere, and it eventually got cut. But you know, to be honest, I don't really believe in the 3-episode rule, but manga does need more time to show its colors. But we are throwing caution to the wind here with this one. Shoten has only 3 chapters out, and I'm already hooked. And I promise you, that's not just because of this name here, Takeshi Obata, who, as I've said before, is my favorite manga artist, but because it is legitimately addicting. So while Takeshi Obata is obviously doing the art, Sugumi Oba, the writer of Death Note and Platinum End and Bakuman, is not. Instead, the story is by Akanari Asakura, who doesn't really have a big body of work to go on. That's probably a good thing because Platinum End was a bit of a miss. Now, to be fair, it is a monthly series and there's 3 chapters out, which is the equivalent of like 9 chapters in a weekly series. So let's just jump right into it. So our main character is Shijimi Azamichi here, who's a known funny man who gets walked away by his crush. This event destroys his confidence so much that he basically swears off ever standing in front of a crowd. Now, to make up for that, what he does is he actually starts writing in jokes to a television series. He uses the name Everyday Shijimi and basically becomes a niche micro-celebrity. What a relatable MC. Now, he works for the student council and gets tasked by the president to find someone funny to edit the student council page. And of course he chickens out, so they go to find someone who they know is a class clown. So the person they end up trying to recruit is somebody named Taiyo Higashikata. No, it's not a JoJo reference. And it turns out he's not really that difficult to find. Now, Higashikata basically tells him that he's already decided he's going to become a professional comedian and win the biggest comedy shows in Japan. And of course, Shijima drops his entire bag of flash drives with jokes on them, and Higashikata finds out who he is. Since Obata is the artist, they did throw in a Death Note joke here. So Higashikata tries to get Shijima to become a comedy duo with him. It really gives you the vibe that he's this strong bulwark against the entire world around him. Of course, though, Shijima chickens out. So Higashikata grabs some random guy to try and trick Shijima into joining him, and of course it works. So they join the school talent show together, and of course end up killing it. Now, this being a shonen manga, of course they ask their parents to do this professionally and quit school and everything, and they say no. And the story basically moves along from there. Now, if it hasn't struck you already, I'll just state the obvious. Yes, this is basically Bakuman. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. Bakuman is a fantastic formula for telling a character story. But I mean, it's almost eerie how close it is to Bakuman. You have the character who's the anxious dreamer type, you have the sort of charismatic prodigy, and they both work on each other's foils, and they both band together to try and climb their way up the ladder. But more specifically, what's really drawing me in is the way it's written. Like, I don't want to get conspiratorial here, but I almost feel like Obata is the one feeding the stories. You have the characters intricately detailing their thoughts, you have the massive over-dramatization of the entire process, and you have that kind of realism within the setting, but the characters themselves are larger than life. And really, that's not a bad thing. Bakuman was a great formula to follow, and I hope more manga actually copy it. And that's really what's keeping me hooked here. Chapter 3 is a really good example of why this manga is so addicting. They're entering an amateur comedy contest here, and very early on in the chapter, one of the characters here mentions that something makes this venue really unique. And Shijima doesn't realize what's going on until much later in the chapter. People are laughing at jokes that aren't funny, and he starts to realize that the only people here are friends of all of the contestants. He goes into a crisis when he realizes the only way you're going to win is by having the most fans already there. Everyone thinks they're going to drop out, but they run away and say that they've come up with a comedy routine that they will be able to use this venue to win. And we have no idea what this is. We've teased this entire idea throughout, and once it's finally revealed to us, they throw another mystery at us. This is how you build suspense in such a realistic context. You answer a mystery by providing another one. And yes, I get it, there's only 3 chapters, but it's so captivating. We do have a little bit of an elephant in the room. The reviews aren't that great. What I've realized is most of the criticisms of this manga come down to it's not funny. And I know this is going to sound really weird, but I think that's not the point. The jokes in this manga I don't think are supposed to make you laugh. Like, they may make you laugh, they really function as just props for the story. Like in Bakuman, we're not supposed to be really engaged by the manga they come up with in this story, because at the end of the day, we don't have the ability to actually read them. And when it comes to a stand-up routine, it's not ever going to be as captivating on a page as it is in person. Well, yes, comedy manga exists. The issue is this isn't a comedy manga. This is a manga about stand-up comedy, and you can't do stand-up on a page. The other thing is, as it is with actually most comedy manga, the jokes are kind of written by the translator. Jokes very rarely translate between languages, so honestly, if you find a joke in a manga funny, you probably just found the translator funny. But regardless, I'm just completely addicted to this manga. One of the sure signs that I love a manga is I set alarms on my phone for when each chapter drops. It's that sort of wonderful addiction to the writing that really got me into Oba's works, yes, even Platinum End, and I guess this writer has that same talent. Every chapter of Shoha Shoten leaves anticipation for the next, and that's why I just can't stop reading it. Anyway, I just wanted to gas up this manga real quick, so I'll see you guys next time. Peace.